Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's a two for Tuesday, and let's not beat around the bush. Let's talk some baseball. A lot of baseball happening these days, and yesterday was no exception. Just ask Mr. Shohei Ohtani. He hit his 13th home run yesterday on a pitch that was 4.19 feet off the ground. How about that? This kid, he's a phenom, and he finds ways to impress every game. And now he has a major league leading 13 homers. And he helped the Angels to a 7-4 win over Cleveland in the series opener at Angel Stadium on Monday. This one, this one that was up high and then hit far and high, was a 3-1 blast that came on a pitch that was 4.19 feet off the ground, which Ohtani deposited into the right field seats with ease. And it traveled a projected 431 feet per StatCast. And that's the second highest pitch anyone has homered off this season after Minnesota's Williams Studillo, who went deep on a pitch that was 4.24 feet off the ground. It's the highest pitch hit by an Angel player in the pitch tracking era, dating back to 2008. It also came off a lefty in Sam Hentges on a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. How about that? Talk about an elevated fastball. Hentges has a pretty good arm, and he's throwing some heat. So for Shohei to get around on that as a left-handed batter was quite amazing. And it just goes to prove what a great and incredible athlete Shohei Ohtani is. He also walked twice for the first time this season, is now batting .263, .313 on-base percentage with a .612 slugging percentage with 10 doubles, 2 triples, 6 stolen bases, 32 RBIs, and 30 runs in 38 games. And he has posted a 2.10 ERA with 40 strikeouts over 25 2/3 innings in 5 starts as a pitcher. And I don't know how you're going to do it. I guess maybe MLB.TV. I'm not sure if it's being televised nationally at all, but he's pitching Wednesday against Cleveland. He has now become must-see TV. The thing about Shohei is he's becoming very selective in the strike zone. And that's really letting him allow himself to actually get good pitches to smack. And it was his third homer in 4 games for Ohtani, and he homered twice at Fenway Park over the weekend, including that go-ahead 2-run shot with 2 outs in the 9th inning on Sunday, which was quite dramatic. And a lot of people thought Shohei was maybe a little fatigued last week at the plate. And he had his scheduled start on the mound pushed back a day as a result. But Madden couldn't help but notice that Ohtani's homer from Friday came on a pitch low in a way that he flicked over the green monster, while Monday's was an elevated fastball he was able to pull with authority. It shows his immense power no matter what pitch is thrown. And Joe Madden said he covers the whole zone. The breaking ball down and away in Boston that hit over the wall was an absolute flick. And this one jumped. Just keep watching. He's pretty interesting to watch. The combination of speed and the fact that he pitches too makes it even more revolutionary in regards to everything else. Ohtani said after the game, I try to keep the same routine and do the same thing every day, and it's leading to some consistency. Boy, is that a modest claim. Shohei is unreal. I personally don't know what else to say. He hits the crap out of the ball and throws the crap out of the ball. And what he's doing is insane, and what he's doing is unbelievable. And I really do think the baseball world needs to start paying more attention to Shohei Ohtani. I'd like to say the same thing about Mike Trout, but unfortunately yesterday, he had to exit Monday's 7-4 win over Cleveland due to a right calf strain. You never want to see that. If he's out for a while, it's going to hurt the Angels. He walked, and then he reached second base on a wild pitch, but he injured himself while running out and pop up to shortstop Jared Walsh to end the first inning. He stopped running after he reached third base, went back into the home dugout. Joe Madden said after the game, there's no update yet on Trout's prognosis, adding he was surprised by the injury when it occurred. Madden said, I saw nothing. I just looked up and he was kind of limping to the third base bag. I was wondering what happened. And so you're going to have to talk to him about that specifically, because they don't have a whole lot to say and they're still undergoing evaluation. We'll know more, but that was kind of innocuous. Just all of a sudden he's limping and we have no idea why. Now, Trout also suffered a right calf strain in 2019, missing 3 games from July 15th to 18th. But it's unclear if this injury is more serious. Madden did not indicate whether or not Trout was in pain upon leaving the game, and he's expected to go an MRI exam, and he opted to speak to reporters on Tuesday. He didn't want to speak last night. Speculation is never a good thing, Madden said. It could be not so difficult or not so bad, and it may be worse. We're going to find out tomorrow. If Trout does miss time, it's going to be a serious blow for the struggling Angels, who have lost 10 of 15 despite Monday's victory. Trout, age 29, in the prime of his career, is having another fantastic year, hitting .333, .466 on-base percentage, and .624 slugging percentage, with 8 homers, 8 doubles, 18 RBIs in 36 games. He wasn't a slump recently, and he had a single in the ninth inning of Sunday's win over the Red Sox that snapped an 0-for-18 funk. He was replaced in the top of the second inning by Juan Lagares, who slid over from left. Jose Rojas come off the bench and took over in left field. And ironically, Lagares later left the game in the ninth inning, crashing into the wall in the eighth, trying to rob Cleveland's Howard Ramirez a homer. He injured a toe and will be reevaluated on Tuesday. It's a tough day for the center fielders in Halo country. We'll see how all this pans out. Hopefully, Mike will not be out that long. And another unfortunate, I don't know, I was watching the game yesterday. Kevin Pillar, oh my God, that was scary yesterday. One of the scariest things you'll ever see, when Pillar got hit by a pitch in the top of the seventh inning. He exited the game after being struck in the face with a 94.5-mile-an-hour fastball. And after being tended to the Mets medical staff, Pillar walked off the field and into the locker room under his own power, which is a good sign. He was taken to the hospital where he underwent a CAT scan. Pillar tweeted about an hour after the game he was managing to make light of the fact that he was hit by a pitch, ending up providing the game-winning RBI. He said, "Thanks to everyone that reached out. Scary moment, but I'm doing fine." Now, the bases were loaded when Pillar was hit by a Jacob Webb's errant pitch, so it wasn't intentional. And then James McCann scored to give the Mets a 2-0 lead. Louis Rojas said, "The guy's a warrior. He shows up every day to play hard, and you saw him. He got up on his feet and left. There's no chance I thought he was going to be able to do that after I saw the ball hit him in the face, but he got up and left. That's at least one positive to see." And even Braves manager Brian Snitker said, "That's about as sickening a thing you can see on a baseball field when a kid gets hit like that. I just keep that kid in my prayers. Hopefully everything will work out okay. This guy is nothing but a pro, the way he handles himself and the way he plays the game." Nobody in the ballpark thought Webb was trying to do that on purpose. Atlanta catcher Jeff Mathis said he felt terrible. That was obviously nothing he wanted to do, but it is part of baseball. As much as it stinks, all we can do is hope he is okay. Pillar was hitting .250 with 2 homers this season, was replaced by rookie Khalil Lee, who entered as a pinch runner to make his major league debut. It's been a rough road for the Mets lately. Taijuan Walker left Monday night's game after experiencing left tightness in the third. And Mets have been hit with the injury bug, but let's hope for the best for Kevin Pillar. Very, very scary when I saw that yesterday, and hope he's better. On a lighter note, how about your mean Mercedes on a 3-0 pitch that came in at 47.1 miles per hour? All the unwritten rules about baseball were suspended when William Astito, known as La Tortuga, is pitching to Yermin Mercedes, now known as the Yerminator, before his breakout rookie campaign. And when Mercedes swung at a 3-0 47.1 eephus pitch with 2 outs, he ripped his 6th home run in the season. It was the slowest pitch hit for a home run since StatCast started tracking. So even Nelson Cruz said, "Well, it was just another homer." No, just a homer, I guess, you know. But that one was fun to watch. If you get a chance, check that one out. Now, a lot of people weren't fond of Mercedes swinging at that. Roy Smalley, an analyst with the Twins, said, "I don't know. I don't like it now at 15-4. When he swung at a 3-0 pitch, you're not going to get the same pitch after this. I don't like it." But it was fun to watch. 15-4, why not? Why do you have to take a pitch at 3-0? Sometimes you got to lighten up there, Mr. Smalley. That's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to theirs. And how about the Dodgers? They seem to be back in the groove. They introduced to the baseball world future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols in an Angel uniform, and they activated David Price and Yoshi Tsutogo. But the night belonged to Buehler. Yes, Buehler, Walker Buehler. Buehler continued a strong season, tossing 7 scoreless innings. Dodgers 3-1 win over the D-backs on Monday at Dodger Stadium. Now the Dodgers are back on the beam, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Pujols said when asked about Buehler, "It's pretty amazing. I never had the opportunity to face him in the past, but just to see him and the electric stuff that he has is just unbelievable. He owned that mound when he was out there, and it was pretty amazing." Buehler didn't have his best command on Monday, walking a season-high 4 batters, including 3 in the 4th. He came into the start having walked just 3 all season. But after a mound visit from pitching coach Mark Pryor, Buehler locked it back in and was able to get out of the jam unscathed. So he came through when he had to. And that mound visit kind of woke him up. Now, he didn't have a lot of swings and misses. He finished with just 12, but he did find it when he needed it, and his stuff was as good as it's been all season. He struck out 7, allowed 1 hit, and a 1-out infield single on the first by Jose Rojas. It was the 6th time in 8 starts Mr. Buehler has allowed 2 or fewer runs in a game this season, lowering his season ERA to 2.98. He's also the only Dodger to pitch 6 or more innings in all of his starts. So Buehler continues to amaze, and I think after all is done, he may be the ace of that staff in the next couple of years. Kershaw's still pitching primo. Bauer's a beast. But Buehler, I think, has the most potential out of all of them going forward. So we'll see what happens. It was a full day of celebration for the Dodgers. Roberts called Pujols wearing a Dodger uniform unreal. And Buehler finished it off with a strong outing. And after not looking like themselves for about a month, the Dodgers are winning and having fun again. I wish Garrett Cole could say he had more fun, but he didn't yesterday. He had one of his roughest outings over the last year, and plus, I'd say, with a 5-2 loss to the Rangers at Globe Life Field. Although the good news was Mr. Cole ran his tally to 61 strikeouts between walks, the longest single-season streak since the mound was moved to its current distance in 1893. The right-hander surrounded season highs of 5 runs and 7 hits over 5+ innings. Cole said it was just one of those nights I just wasn't crisp. There were a few sequences tonight where I felt we threw a really excellent pitch and followed up with a really bad pitch. I just couldn't string 3, 4, 5 pitches together in a row like I really liked. Adolis Garcia and Willie Calhoun homered off Cole, who gave back a lead built on 3 first-inning singles, including Gio Urshela's run-scoring knock. Texas collected 3 runs in the second inning off Cole, with Garcia launching his 11th homer for Isaiah Kiner Falefa and Jose Trevino stroked RBI hits. Aaron Boone said he was just in the zone, probably a little too much with some 2-strike situations. Credit to them. They were aggressive, got off some good swings. When they got a mistake, they were able to take advantage of it. It's a tough outing for a goal, but congrats on a record-breaking performance. Always fun to see when a record's broken. It's been a crazy year for baseball. Something new is happening every day. And something else that's new is the Miami Marlins. They're with their part of that New City Connect look, sort of like what the Red Sox did with their yellow uniforms. And Marlins Monday, as you can see on the overlay here, they unveiled their City Connect Series uniform, which honors the Cuban Sugar King's legacy and influence on baseball across Latin America with a modern twist. It was developed and designed in partnership with Nike and MLB, and the club plans to wear the uniforms at least once a month for the remainder of the 2021 season. Looks pretty sharp. Not bad at all. A little colorful. I don't know if I'd want to see it every day, but once in a while, it does have some pizzazz. And with the home games in the heart of Miami's Little Havana neighborhood, the Marlins also celebrate Cuban Independence Day, which is on Thursday. On Saturday is part of Cuban Heritage Night. So nice twist. The Cuban Sugar Kings at one time, from 1950, they played from 1954 to 60, had the dream of becoming first Major League Baseball franchise out of the United States with the motto, "One more step and we arrive." They were owned and guided by legend Bobby Maduro. Sugar Kings were a groundbreaking team that inspired as one of the first clubs to field a multinational team with players from all over Latin America. The team won the Governor's Cup, the International League Championship, and the Junior World Series in '59 with future MLB players Tony Gonzalez, Leo Cardenas, and Cookie Rojas. The following year, the team moved to New Jersey and '62 Jacksonville, a franchise that is now the Marlins AAA affiliate. So you could say it's a pretty snazzy uniform. Uh, the jersey inverts the colors of the classic white and red pinstripe jersey, and the font and numbers beyond the past, present, and future of Latin American baseball and cultural influence. The colors are legacy red, Miami blue, and midnight black, which are bold and radiant, celebrating the vibrant culture of Latin American baseball and the energy in Miami. And the script is a nod to the homemade letter forms of the original jerseys on wide pinstripes with the raglan-style sleeves for a bold look. The patches, the original Sugar Kings mark on the right arm to remember the legacy, with the Marlins logo on the left for the next generation. And the caps are traditional Sugar Kings logo infused with current Marlins logo and a single fish logo on the side. Not bad at all. So keep an eye out for them. They'll be wearing them this weekend and a few more times during the course of the season. They look good, don't they? They look good. How about you, Darvish? He was looking good yesterday, huh? How about you? What do you think about you? Well, from the moment he arrived in the big leagues, Yu Darvish ranked among the sport's elite pitchers. But last year, he took his game to a different level. He emerged as one of baseball's preeminent aces, the kind of pitcher who starts where must-see TV. He finished second in the National Cy Young Award voting and made a strong case for the top spot. That's a tough act to follow, right? But somehow, after being traded from the Cubs to the Padres in December, Darvish might even be better than he was a year ago. He continued his brilliant start to his Padres tenure with 7 scoreless innings Monday night and a 7-0 win over the Rockies at Petco Park, marking San Diego's 4th straight victory. He struck out 10 without allowing a walk and lowered his ERA to 1.81. All my pitches were working for me today, Darvish said through an interpreter. But one pitcher in particular, he threw some filthy two-seamers, Jace Tingler said. He was on. He is amazing. He'll set you up with a dizzy array of breaking pitches, and once he's ahead of you, Darvish, he can ball, and then he has upper 90s, heat in his back pocket. And he can throw that two-seam fastball, tails over the inside corner. And he's just a good pitcher. Fun to watch. When he has command of his pitches, he is fun to watch. And when he gets run support, it's easy peasy for him. And last night, Trent Grisham opened the game with a triple, and Manny Machado followed with a launching, towering home run to give the Padres a 2-0 lead, and they never looked back. And needless to say, the Padres will get everything they could have hoped for and then some after sending 4 prospects and right-hander Zach Davies to the Cubs to land Darvish and Caratini in December. I wonder if the Cubs would like Darvish again this year. He could have been the missing piece for them this year. And now he has completed at least 6 innings in 6 of his 9 starts. The other 3, one was opening day. Another, he came out 1 out shy against the Pirates on May 5th. And the other was a 7-inning game, part of a doubleheader at Coors Field last Wednesday. And his 69 strikeouts are the most for any Padre starting pitcher through his first 9 starts with the club. So Yu is back. And that's good to see. And it looks like he's even getting better at age 34. Now, one player that Dodgers hope is going to get better with age, and you can't get much better than him, is Albert Pujols. Albert's back. He appeared in a uniform for the first time with the Dodgers. The uniform didn't look strange. I'm wearing it, but there was no question the 55 number on the jersey sure did. And he instantly becomes the first future Hall of Famer to wear number 55. And that's no offense to guys like Skip Shoemaker, Tim Lincecum, Russell Martin, or Hershiser. In his first game, Pujols went 1 for 4 with an RBI single. But the Dodgers signing him will not be judged by one game. It will be judged ultimately by how this ends. As surprising as the addition of Pujols was, there was a certain logic to it. The team needs any lineup it can get right now. Eventually, those missing bats going to return, and where does Pujols go then? You never know. Pujols may not have it, and he doesn't end the season with the Dodgers. Maybe Pujols can't stay healthy at his age. Maybe Pujols struggles, still hangs around long enough to finish the season, but doesn't make the postseason roster. Pujols may do what he's needed to do. And once every return, he's booted out of the lineup, and we have another Angels situation. Could be Pujols struggles and Dodgers now with everyone healthy. Let him go, and he signs with St. Louis for one final goodbye. Maybe Pujols holds down the fort until everyone gets healthy, then settles into a pinch hitting role. He gives us one more lasting October memory. And who knows? The most positive outlook of Abe Pujols is the old Pujols again. Maybe not like the 206 Pujols. All it takes is one hot stretch where he looks like the Pujols, where he reminds us all of those old memories and gives us some new ones along the way. Maybe it's a dream, but Prime Albert one last time. Maybe stretching a little too far, but we can dream, can't we? Anyway, it's good to see Albert hook up with another team, and it's the Dodgers, and I'm sure they'll treat him well. Now, a little fun thing we want to talk about. Look back in the baseball past, if you allow me to. We're going to look back at a 27 strikeout no-hitter. What's that, Uncle Stan, you're saying? A 27 strikeout no-hitter? Well, it did happen back in 1952, and the man who threw it was Ron Nisiei. I hope I'm saying his name right. But he is still popular to this day. He hasn't played in 70 years, but he says he still gets cards and letters and pictures to sign. And it was amazing. He was a Pirate minor leaguer at 19 years old and struck out 27 batters while giving up no hits in regulation 9 innings. That's the only time that's ever been done at the professional level. He was shocked as anybody that he pulled it off, always thinking he was too wild to ever have success on the mound. He called himself a thrower. It was marked P on the program, but I was never a pitcher. His foray into pro baseball began a couple years prior to that in May 52. Prior to that 52 game in May in 1950, and he was right. He was a wild off the mound. The Rhinehorns split time between the Salisbury Pirates and Shelby Farmers, putting up a 21-point ERA and Infinity ERA respectively. I either walked them or struck them out. The next year, Pittsburgh GM Branch Rickey said, Nisiei, I hope I'm saying his name right, to Double-A New Orleans to work on his control. The manager there, Rip Sewell, was a big ex-Major League pitcher, although he was more known for inventing the crawling, fluttering eephus pitch to revive his career. Interesting choice to help a young man trying to tame his fastball. Nisiei said Rip Sewell wasn't any help as far as I was concerned. Although, according to Nisiei, Sewell did sell off the pitcher's repertoire pretty well at the time. Rip used to tell him he had 2 pitches. Number 1, knock him down, and then give him the Uncle Charlie. Knock him down, throw him a curveball. I could knock him down without trying, and I had a bad curveball. Even after more control problems in 51, he had 129 walks and 139 innings. The Pirate organization felt Nisiei was still young and not worth giving up. Newspaper reporters had coined him the nickname Rocket Ron because of his blazing fastball. Rickey was already calling him the next Christy Mathewson or Dizzy Dean. Nisiei was invited to the Pirates spring training in San Bernardino in 1952, but stomach ulcer problems gave him some problems, and he dealt with them his entire life, but they were becoming a big issue. He went to see a doctor, was off for some time, and then Rickey, taking into consideration Starr's health issues, asked him where he felt comfortable playing the next season. Nisiei wanted to play under his manager from his time in Salisbury, George Latour, and so he sent to Latour's new team in the Appalachian League in Bristol, Virginia. Nisiei suddenly caught fire for Latour's team. He struck out 20 batters in debut while only walking 4. He sat down another 19 in the game and K'd off 11 of 12 in a relief role 3 days later. Still, as much as he was accomplishing on the field, he was struggling mightily with his stomach, even the night leading into his historic May 13th start. And most of that day, actually, he had pains running up and down his gut. He said he was taking medications for cramps in his stomach, and his stomach was bothering him all night. So swallowing some weird black pills, chugging milk in between innings, and vomiting at least in the dugouts. Nisiei pitched that in May night like he was from another planet. The Welch Miners mustered a walk, a hit by pitch, and a reach on a drop third strike and error, but went down on strikes a record 27 times. The previous mark had been 25. Nisiei still has that K-heavy scorecard to prove it wasn't a dream. Nisiei is incredibly humble. He didn't even tell me about the other success he had that season. I had to look it up, and he didn't fully realize he had struck out 27 until the final out. He also doesn't remember anything specific about his performance, mostly just crediting his catcher and manager for calling a great game. He said, yeah, I mean, when you hit a guy and walk a guy and there's an error, there's a lot of action. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I paid more attention to try and throw strikes. He was just awesome that night. They couldn't hit the thing, catcher Harry Dunlop said, who was 18 to Nisiei's 19 at the time. Dunlop caught in the minors 14 seasons, and then coaching the minors and majors for 5 decades. And he said Nasai had some of the best stuff he had ever seen that year. We didn't have Guns N' Roses. His way threw harder than anybody ever caught over the years. He had a curveball that was a split finger. It was an old-fashioned drop. Dunlop said, Nasai must have thrown close to 200 pitches and also confirmed his batter mate's wild side was still very much part of the epic performance. It was work, Dunlop laughed. I was blocking balls all night long, and you can imagine a lot of 3-1, 3-2 counts. Not many 1-2-3 and you're outs. Nakai apparently hit the first batter in the fourth, and then the error happened in the ninth, as did the drop third strike, which gave Nakai the opportunity to strike out 4 in the final frame to get to 27. Welch batters were probably bunting and balls in the later innings, but still somehow missing the pitches. As far as realizing that history was happening, he says he did figure it out in the 6th inning, the 7th inning, when the crowd started counting from the stands. He's striking out every guy, the catcher remembered thing. I said, oh my God, I really didn't realize it. He'd gotten so deep in so many counts, and all I was thinking about was doing the job and getting my pitcher through the game. But nobody told Nakai. Maybe he loses focus. The press descended on the teenager the next morning, but definitely wasn't as big a story as it might be today. No big deal. Nasai said it was the minor leagues, In his very next start, Nasai struck out 24 in 9 innings, 51 strikeouts in 2 games. As you recall, DeGrom's recent MLB record of 50 in 4 games, that's 25.5 Ks per 9 innings in those 2 games for Nasai. Correct. When asked if he did it, indeed set down 24 in his next game. His fastball exploded on you, Dunlop. Remember the breaking ball? If he stayed healthy for a long time, God knows what he would have done. After that start and after striking out 109 hitters in 43 innings, Nasai was called up to the Carolina League, where he continued to decimate batters. He struck out a league high 176 batters in just 2 months. Did real well there, Nasai said, kind of crediting himself with being a good pitcher. Led the league in strikeouts, earned run average, and made the All-Star team. I don't know why. Finally, in August 52, he was called up to the bigs. The 20-year-old quickly found out the difference between the major and minor leagues. Hitters were much more patient and aware of the strike zone. The rookie went 1 for 6 with a 7.08 ERA, while putting up 31 strikeouts and 32 walks. He made his debut at Hollow Wrigley Field. When I could throw strikes, I got them out. When I walked them, it was catastrophe. First day against the Cubs, I got bombed. You can't walk the world in the big leagues. After that summer, Nasai was drafted in the Korean War, but was quickly discharged because of his ulcer problem. While trying to get back into baseball shape, he tore his rotator cuff and lost that fireballing bite on his fastball. He pitched another season in the minors in 55, but the injury was too much to keep going. Nasai said, I couldn't stand the pain, and I hit you between the eyes. You think a mosquito bit you or something. So at 23 years old, and a once bright baseball future already fading from view, a doctor gave him some advice he'll never forget. Son, go home, go buy a gas station. You're never going to pitch again. Nasai did go home, but instead got into the sporting business and was pretty successful. Talking to him now, he doesn't seem to have many regrets. He pitched one of the greatest games ever recorded on a baseball diamond. And unlike the majority of prospects, he realized his big league dreams. It's what every kid wants to do. I won 1 game, I had 1 base hit, and drove in 1 run. I did it all. And nobody was more surprised in the ballpark than I was. He's now 88 years old and living in Florida. Almost seems amused that I and others still talk about the unreal game he pitched. He says he still gets letters and pictures to sign. Yet surprisingly, it's unbelievable. He hasn't played in 70 years. But he pitched one of the more ridiculous games in organized baseball history. Struck out 27 batters when just 19 years old and gave no hits in regulation 9 innings. The only time that's ever been done in professional baseball. So good for him. Great story, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't ramble on too long with that one, but it was a good one. Now let's go to the current day happenings. Let's look at the standings. In first place in the AL East, we got Boston, 25-17, 1.5 games ahead of Toronto at 22-17, and Toronto would qualify for a wild card. We have the Chicago White Sox in first place in the Central, 25-15, 3.5 games up on the Cleveland Indians, and Cleveland's 1 game back of a wild card. In the AL West, we have the Oakland A's, first place, 25-17. Snipping at their heels is Houston, 24-17, and they would qualify for a wild card. In the National League, we got the New York Mets at first place, 19-16, 1 game ahead against of the Philadelphia Phillies. We have the St. Louis Cardinals at 23-18, 2 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers. And then the West, very tight West, we got San Francisco 25-16 in first place, half-game ahead against San Diego, and 2 games ahead of Los Angeles. Both the Padres and Dodgers will qualify for the wild card. Now looking at today's action, all action under the lights. We got the Giants at the Reds, 6:40. We got the Rays against the Orioles. Matt Harvey goes for the Orioles, trying to bounce back from that rough outing at Citi Field. We have the Marlins at the Phillies, 7:05 start. Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies. We got the Mets at the Braves, 7:20 start. We got the Red Sox at the Blue Jays. That's a good interdivision battle. Red Sox 25-17, Blue Jays 22-17. 7:40 start in Chicago. We got the Nats and the Cubs, Corbin against Davies. 7:40 start. How about this? The White Sox against the Twins. White Sox are now 11.5 games in front of the Twins. Amazing. And they got Lance Lynn going on the mound, 4-1 against with a 1.30 ERA going against Pineda. The Twins is 2-2, 2.79. Nice pitching matchup. 7:45, we got the Pirates against the Cardinals. 8:05, the Yankees go back at it against the Rangers. 8:10, we got the Brewers, the Royals. Woodruff, 2-1, 1.64 ERA going for the Brew Crew. 9:38, Angels are hosting the Indians. Zach Plesac on the mound for the Indians, 3-3, 3.56. Good matchup out in Oakland. Astros 24-17 against the A's, 25-17. Battle for first place. Tonight at 10:10, Dodgers host the Diamondbacks. Urias on the mound for the Dodgers, 5-1, 3.26 ERA. Then we got the Rockies at the Padres. Blake Snell going for the Padres. That should be a good one. And then the Tigers against the Mariners tonight. Mariners holding steady at 500. So that's going to wrap things up for us today. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast as always. As you can see, I comb my hair. Still haven't showered yet. My priority is to serve the baseball world first. Anyway, it's always a pleasure. Hope you're enjoying this. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. You get alerted every time we do one. I try to do an update every day, and some days I do even more than one updates or some special features. So like it if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it. Whatever floats your boat, but we're glad you're here with us. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group, Baseball Way of Life, please do. Great stuff up there every day, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's basically the Facebook companion to this YouTube cast. So that's it. Enjoy your 2 for Tuesday. Enjoy the baseball. And again, thanks for watching. It really means a lot to me, and have a great day.